ABC News Chief Health and Medical Editor Dr. Rich Besser has just come back from the hot zone in Africa. Rich, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Lots to discuss here, but let me start with the question that is undoubtedly going to be on the mind of many of our viewers. Is it safe for you to be boarding airplanes as you've just done and interacting with your family members at home and then coming into the studio here?
Yeah, it is. The thing about Ebola is you cannot transmit the disease unless you're sick. And so ABC News talked with CDC, went through the guidelines. I know the guidelines. If I were to develop a fever, then I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be around people. And so I'm monitoring my temperature twice a day. I took it before I came into the studio, and it means I'm safe. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to be comfortable around me, but it means that there's no risk of me spreading this disease to anyone here or anyone I meet on the street.
And you're being very sensitive. I want to let our viewers know the first thing that he said to us today was, "Are you guys okay with me being here?" And we are, undoubtedly.
We are, absolutely.
But you have made 2 trips with your team to Liberia in the last month. Can you talk about the extraordinary precautionary measures that you take while you're there to stay safe?
Yeah, I went with my producer, Adam Desiderio, and we were extremely careful. And it's the things you don't see on the air because they don't make TV. But after every interaction, spraying our hands, our feet, our boots down with bleach, the interactions that people saw of me with patients on an Ebola ward, I was fully suited up, and there were 2 people watching every interaction I had to make sure I made no mistake. Being on that Ebola ward with that gear, it was probably the safest place for me to be, but on television it looks very frightening. The scene on the street where we're shooting a burial, well, there's no way of getting Ebola looking at someone who has Ebola. And so the people around me who were going to pick up that body, they needed to be suited, but taking a picture of that was very safe.
Okay, let's get your analysis on some of the developments on the ground, both here and overseas. We've just seen Tom Yamas reporting on this air scare at Newark. How worried should we be about contracting Ebola on an airplane?
It's very remote, but it's possible. If Eric Duncan had gotten on the plane 4 days later, he might have developed his early symptoms of Ebola on the plane. It would have been fever. And fever by itself is an indication you might have Ebola, but it doesn't mean that you're spreading Ebola. It's when you start to spread body fluids that you're a real risk. I took our viewers behind the scenes at the quarantine station at Newark Airport. And there are teams that are ready that know what to do so that they'll come on the plane fully suited, they'll be able to get the person off, and then they'll assess the risk of everyone on that plane and see who needs monitoring.
And you were just at the source of Ebola. Is America doing enough to stop Ebola at its source in Africa?
America's doing a lot more, but still not enough. The president has said they're going to build 17 hospitals. There's no sign of those going up yet. The 25-bed unit, it's slow. It's not going up yet. We need to do more. The way America stays safe is to knock Ebola out of West Africa, not by putting up walls. It just doesn't work that way.
This thing is not going to end until we deal with it over there.
That's
right.
Rich, welcome home.
Thank you.
We're very glad to have you back.
Great to be here.
Thank you, Doctor.